Hi everyone. Welcome to TechZone. Today, we're going to explore the secrets about the Great Pyramid of Giza. Make sure you watch until the end, because you don't want to miss out the amazing truth about the pyramid. Before we start, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss out our video. The unknown truth about the Pyramid of Giza. The Giza Pyramids have generated wonder, debate, and a fair share of alternative history hypotheses. According to Universe Today, the Pyramids of Giza may be inspired after obviously man-made pyramid buildings in the Cydonia region of Mars, which is home to the notorious Mars face. Other theories, like those you often hear on late-night History Channel shows, include the Pyramids of Giza being created by aliens, serving as focal points for global energy, or being erected by the Illuminati, citing the Egyptian symbols on the reverse of the US dollar. According to the BBC, the Pyramids of Giza were built around 2600 BCE, based on carbon dating. For years, academics have been unable to determine the exact details of their construction, but new evidence, according to Discovery, indicates that the stones came from a quarry to the south and that the sand along the route was damp, making them easier to move. A nearby rock quarry at Hatnub in southeast Egypt was discovered, surrounded by holes that identify the positions of wooden posts used in a complicated pulley system, which was not seen again for another 2,000 years in ancient Greece. Wood, of course, rots, adding to the mystery surrounding how megalithic constructions were constructed. The Giza pyramids were built to honor three Egyptian pharaohs, each with their own dedicated pyramid: Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure. Khufu's Great Pyramid, which stands at 481.4 feet tall, is the tallest of them all. They used to be coated in limestone as well, before it was taken for nearby mosques and fortresses, which meant they shined a stunning white in the day or under moonlight, according to Smithsonian Magazine. For other rulers, temples and burial places were established along the Nile floodplain. Anything less than a complete appreciation of the past's wisdom and creativity is a disrespect to the truth behind such great achievements. Even banal theories can generate remarkable results in this scenario. Regardless of how wonderful your 5th grade social studies teacher was, you didn't learn everything there is to know about ancient Egypt from him or her. Many of the larger-than-life facts you did learn were probably utter nonsense. Here's the reality about everything you thought you knew about the ancient Egyptians. Number 1, mummification was just for pharaohs. Pharaohs were the most famous mummies, arriving in the afterlife with jewels, jars full of their internal organs, and a severely parched body. But just because you couldn't afford to be mummified in a massive pyramid didn't mean you didn't want to be. In fact, ordinary individuals are just as likely to appear in museums as the ancient Egyptian kings. The earliest Egyptian mummies were most likely formed by mistake, because if you throw an unprotected body into the sand in an arid area, it will mummify on its own. People quickly realized that getting mummified was the cool new thing to do to help you go to the afterlife, and everyone wanted in on it. Number 2, pharaohs were always buried with their servants. The notion of pharaohs being buried alongside dozens of their servants is popular in pop culture. How powerful must you be to be able to arrange plenty of killings from beyond the grave? While certain ancient Egyptian pharaohs did take their servants to the afterlife, this practice only happened during the First Dynasty, and quickly faded out of favor. That did not, however, imply that the pharaohs would ascend to Egyptian paradise on their own. They still required servants to complete all of their tasks. They were gods, after all, so how could they be expected to perform something as difficult as bake bread or pour wine? Fortunately for the servants, pharaohs avoided slaughtering perfectly good slaves by being buried with little wooden dolls during the majority of the ancient Egyptian period. According to author Maizaki, these miniature statues were called ushabtis and were painted to resemble the servants they were replacing. Then the little wooden people would take care of all the heavy work, allowing the pharaohs to relax and enjoy their death. Lastly, the pharaoh's curse was super deadly. If there's one thing we all know about King Tut's tomb discovery, it's that after it was uncovered, everyone involved started dropping like flies. The figures protecting the inner tomb had gilded serpents on their heads, according to a 1922 New York Times report. The night before the excavation, the dig's leader, Howard Carter, was eating supper when his pet canary was bitten and killed by a serpent that looked exactly like those in the tomb. The curse concept took off from there. One theory is that the myth was started by Howard Carter himself in order to keep people away from his discovery. In the following 7 years, 11 people associated with the dig died, yet there was no curse. According to History.com, A research on the lifespans of all Westerners who were in Egypt at the time of the tomb's opening was published in 2002 by the British Medical Journal, and it found that those who were present were not likely to die any sooner than their predecessors. Carter lived for another 17 years, and many others who were cursed lived long and happy lives.